Hello everybody, today I have the pleasure to propose to you this key 78 entitled Matrix, Different Reality or Different Realities, where this is the fifth chapter, let's say video, for which today we're gonna focus on different tips and advice for reaching a kind of discernment and lucidity. Well, the most important thing, the most important sentence for this one is from the Greek philosophy, stating, "Know thyself and you will know the secret of God and the universe." It's so important to know yourself and to do a certain work of introspection. Okay, so for what? Just for perceiving beyond the individual and collective matrix. Okay, so life is like a giant mirror for which every reflection are supposed to give you some information regarding yourself. And the more you know yourself, the more you understand people and the more you can adapt to people and a better communication and so on and so forth. So today we're going to focus on first introspection, that's to say the ego analysis, okay? Then the trauma cleansing, third, the lineage and the karma. And then we will go further also with tips. So what is ego analysis? Actually, this is who are you? If you had to, if I ask you to take your time, of course, you can do pause and so on, or take, you do it right now and you can do spread over a few days, for example, 21 days, 1 week, whatever. If you had to introduce yourself, okay, you can also do in front of a mirror, okay, by writing and also spontaneously, okay, afterwards, in front of your mirror, or take a video like this and you take a film of you, okay? So it allows you to have a good way of talking and also to structure your mind. So first you try to summarize, to introduce yourself with only one word, first. Second, with one sentence. Third, with one paragraph, like 5 sentences. And fourth, with a page of A4 page, that's to say 1,000 words, like you talk during 15 minutes, okay? Or you think that someone is talking about you, okay? A friend of you introducing yourself, for example, okay? So this is important. Why? Because if you cannot do it, how you can do, for example, to introduce yourself for an interview, for when you meet and encountering, when you meet someone, a friend, a date, and so on and so forth. It's extremely important. Try also to analyze your personality. And first, your origin with the family link. For example, try to see, to put a percentage, if you consider the link with your father is harmonious, okay, so 80% would be that you are very, let's say, very connected to your father, okay, even if he passed away, huh? It can be evolutive as well. Same question for your mother, okay, if it's 10%, it means that you're in conflict with her, and so on. If she passed away, there is, I explained that in the key 75-2, hereafter you can also reconnect. That's to say, even if it's just psychology for you, you can just try to discharge, to neutralize certain bad waves, okay, because like this you are peaceful, okay. So also try to see the same percentage with if you have brothers and sisters, okay, individually. And then also to try to analyze your yin and yang part. That's to say your feminine part and your masculine part. Masculine is more the structure, the organization, and so on, the power. And feminine is more artistic dimension, intuition, romance, and so on. Personally, I have probably something like 25% of feminine part. It's nothing to see with sex, of course. It's just a question. We are invited in this transition to transmute and also to embrace our two faces, our double polarity, darkness and luminous. Okay, embracing the darkness allows to reduce and neutralize it, and embracing the double faces of your feminine part allows you to express yourself much more. Okay, so personally, for feminine part is my intuition, my artistic dimension, my I don't know, collective consciousness, and so on and so on. Okay, social link. Okay, at school. Okay, where you were very popular, social, shy, and so on. In your job. Okay, in your personal community, like to say, if you have a lot of friends, with you're introvert, you're shy, you're social, and so on. Your identity, try to define the percentage of each items. Like if you're a leader, if it's 80%, it means that you have the leadership, of course. If you are 10%, you are more detached. Okay, so leader, sociable, introvert or shy, confident, self-esteem, okay, self-love, okay, positive or optimistic, visual, oral, kinesthetic, all right, Cartesian, rational, okay, artistic, spiritual, organized, and rigorous. Okay, try to take a little bit of time for all of them. Then I invite you to think about your qualities and your defaults. Okay, first list your qualities. Okay, then list your defaults. Okay, and with some examples, and also some possible solution to cope with them, if you consider that you want to cope with them. And also I invite you to rank, okay, by top priority those you want to remedy. Okay, and last, define your character. That's to say, are you satisfied of it? Okay, you're moody, and so on. Okay, if not, how you can improve it. Okay, try to visualize, to do statements as well regarding your hygiene of life. Okay, so poor, average, good, excellent. Okay, regarding different criteria like food. Okay, if you're always eating junk food and so on. You sleep. Okay, your quality of sleeping. Sport, alcohol. Okay, if alcohol is excellent, means that you don't drink, or you really little bit. Okay, so poor means that you abuse. Okay, drugs, state of mind, your mind state. Okay, the balance, to try to visualize the balance of your life. Okay, if it's bad, average, good, excellent for your couple. Okay, or you're single but you are happy like this, it's absolutely fine. Personally, I lived single for many years. I was absolutely fine. Family, okay, friendship, professional, and also personal in general. Okay, your suffering body, that's I consider as your backbone of stones. What is it? The trauma, the problems that you had in your childhood or even currently. Everybody have. Okay, we all have some. Okay, I don't know anybody who don't have. Okay, so try to list, and for that, first list your past and present problems. Okay, so for those who are past and resolved, try to visualize how did you overcome them, okay? And how can you deal with the present ones, okay? If you don't know, you can just compare with those who succeeded, okay? Like a benchmark. It doesn't mean that it will be necessarily helpful, but at least it can be inspiring, okay? It's like, you know, I'm always saying there is no miracle recipe, there is only miracle adaptation, okay? So that's the same principle. Try to list what you don't like in life in general, okay? You list what you don't like, okay? Key points. Then try to list what you don't like in your own life. Then try to take this piece of paper, you take the time you need, and you burn it. Okay, like Burning Man, you burn it, okay, literally, and you try to do and to repeat it. Like ideally, you do it once a day, once a day, yeah, and over 21 days, and you burn and you burn and you burn. Okay, like this, it's supposed to, like a ritual, a rite to discharge, okay, this bad energy. You can also try to see the notion of resettings, okay, like changing your subconscious. And for this, I invite you to watch the video 37 for which I explain you how does it work with subconscious, and also I give you a guided meditation to do it, and also the pattern to helping you to just to change. You only have to read it, to record with a smartphone, and to adapt by changing some words for focusing on certain trauma that you have. Okay, and you repeat it ceaselessly before sleeping and so on, and you will see some changes. Okay, try to consider your state of mind. For you, with a percentage, life is good at how many percentage? Okay, 99 is incredible life, 10% you are depressed apparently, and so on. Then same question for your own life. Okay, then try to depict, okay, to design the ideal world for which you summarize and you depict it through one single word. Second, with one sentence. Third, with a paragraph of 4 or 5 sentences, and 4 with A4 paper of 1000 words. I did that, for example, in the book that you can download for free from my website, entitled Sage Passage Utopia, for which I depict over the whole book a new civilization, the 5D, for which the organization, the orchestration and so on, even the timetable, the schedule of one single day, for example. So I really try to dig into that and to try to visualize. Why? Because as Seneca said, there is no favorable wind for the sailor who doesn't know where to go. Okay, so we can criticize the society or your life, but if you don't know what you want, how you could get it? That's obvious, that's simple. Then I invite you to do exactly the same. Depict the ideal life for yourself, your ideal life. One word, one sentence, one paragraph, and one page. Then it's never too late to know yourself. Okay, a majority of people ignore them. Okay, they don't know what they are concretely. Okay, so as the sentence says, know thyself and you will know the secret of God and the universe. Is so important. I invite you and recommend you to spend time alone, punctually sometimes. Why? Because it's so important. Personally, I spend so much time alone. I mean, alone, quote a mark, because we're never alone, with a good connection, not internet, another connection, spiritual one. But let's say I travel, I crossed 1/3 of the planet, 66 countries over a little bit less than 200. And I spend so much time in the bus, in the train, in the plane, in the check-in, check-out, and so on, in the taxi, and so on. So spending so much time with myself, and it allowed me, since I'm very young, more than 20 years, and actually it allowed me to know myself more and to know the darkness, some dark points, and also some positive things, and I'm a good company for myself, you know. And it's important that we are overwhelmed by information from anywhere, from news, from your smartphone, pop-up, and so always. We never have time to just sit and observe and admire life, nature, your life, and so on. In general, it's so important to be in the silence, retreat, or walking, and so on. I invite you to do it much more. Try to analyze your characters, your center of interests, and also to understand that you are not your ego. You're not the identification of your ego. The personality, persona, means the mask of the masquerade. Okay, so the whole mask that you have from your education, your parents, by rejection, by acceptance, and so on. So by school, by your society, your country, language, all what we saw in the previous videos, and try to understand this. It's extremely important. But when you think about what you are concretely, when you think about what you are, who is thinking and who is analyzing who? Okay, quick question. There is like a detachment already. Well, let's go further. Actually, try to visualize your center of interests, okay, on a personal basis and on a professional basis, okay? What do you like? For example, in terms of percentage, food, like eating, food, like cooking, sport, which sport, art, music, theater, arts and craft, do-it-yourself, spirituality, traveling, games, video games, board, party, TV, cinema, reading, writing, and so on, and so on and so forth. Okay, so for professional like agriculture, industry, production, engineering, research, medicine, personal assistance, teaching, transmitting, trading, banking, finance, human resources, communication, construction, real estate, hotel, restaurant, catering, traveling, and so on. Okay, what is the most important for you? You have to do top priority. First one, second one, until the last one. Okay, the first item is to be in harmony. The second one, to be in good health. The third one is to have a family. 4, have money. 5, to make your dream come true. 6, to be useful. 7, to make sense. 8, to have a lot of friends. 9, to be integrated to the system, company, and so on. 10, to be recognized. 11, to be loved. And 12, to love. Okay? Then, I invite you to think, what do you dream of doing on a personal basis and on a professional basis? If I'm Aladdin, you know, the genie in the bottle, and I give you as many wishes as you want, tell me and try to express yourself. What is your goal in life? Okay, what's your purpose of life? Okay, what's your mission of life? What are your goals? Your goals qualitatively, quantitatively, qualitatively, quantitatively. Okay, I want a family, I want kids. How many? Okay, I want good relationship with my kids and so on. Okay, with details, but step by step also. The time road, that to say short term, mid term, long term. I did a video, it's the 50th one, with realization. I invite you to check it because there is a lot of tips regarding all this. Okay, so then try to analyze your character and to see where it's coming from your family, exactly. And then see the interaction with people and so on, how it is affecting you. Because I told you, life is a kind of mirror, for which we are reflecting each other. Okay, so applying this analysis to allowing you to understand you better. Okay, so Baal Shem Tov, the great mystic, Jewish mystic, say the following: the man next to you is your mirror. If your face is pure, the image you perceive will also be perfect. On the other way around, if you see a defect in the man next to you, it is your own imperfection that you discover. It is shown to you what you have to correct. Okay, so then what are the tools to work on your trauma, your lineage, and or your karma? Energetists, for example, hypnosis, self-hypnosis, okay, spending time alone, I said, in silence, meditation. Pascal said, all the misfortune of mankind comes from one thing, the fact that he is not able to stay alone and rest in a room. Okay, do a daily self-analysis, very important, how to improve. I invite you also, soul reading is very interesting, I did it many times. I mean, family constellation as well is a good tool. Also, transgenealogy analysis with what, for example, the soul recovering. You discovered that someone, an ancestor, did things and so on, or had these problems. You can just visualize this person and even if you don't have picture, you say the name and you just say, I free you from it as much as I free myself, and thanks to God, we are free now from it. Okay, basic things like this. You can adjust according to your own perception. You know, this phases of know yourself and you will know the secret of the universe is the apocalypse. Apocalypse means revelation, unveiling. Okay, it's true also for the society. to realize the real lies with real eyes. Okay, so it's the Maya of Hindus. Concretely, is the fact that, for example, I invite you to read the book for free, Corona Apocalypse, SOS, Save Our Soul, Corona Apocalypse, Save Our Souls. Okay, so it's depicting what's the situation in 2020. Okay, I download literally channeling this book within 12 hours, and there are a lot of things happen after that. So it's just a state, a metaphor with a disease of a society, like Krishnamurti say, is not a guarantee to be well integrated in a sick society. Is not a guarantee of health that to be integrated in a very deep society. So concretely, it is a metaphor to say, to express that, for example, our economical system is just an illusion based on death and endless growth in a sustainable economy, a paradox. Second, let's say we destroy nature, we destroy half of the species and nature, and it's like you take it out half of your components of your watch, and then it doesn't work anymore. Ecosystem, the ecosystem is affected, and then a social. How many people you know, and they just they don't feel happy, and because they let's say there is something, they are outgrounded. There is something missing. Okay, so that's the point. We are in a neurotic society for which we have everything in terms of comfort, and not everybody in the world, of course, but and also the system is touching the limits. I know so many people that they have everything on the paper, but they feel incomplete. It's like if they have lost something and experiencing the need to find it back. But what is this something? The connection, something to something higher. Okay, this is what I always try to explain to you, always. But what is important is to try to analyze the society, not necessarily negatively, but just to say, okay, you know, how you choose, how you know what you are, by knowing what you are not. Okay, what you know, what you want when you do the experience of what you don't want. Okay, it's the same thing. So try to analyze what does it make, if it doesn't make sense. Okay, the common meaning, if there is in the collective interest, it is respectful from mankind, respectful for nature, and so on. And you see and you list all the disciplines, like education, like politics, like administration, like medicine, like science, and so on and so forth. I did the job. In the book, I invite you to download for free. Once again, it's Sage Passage Utopia. I depict a society in the fifth dimension, for which I explain the orchestration, the organization, and so on. And I did the job for myself only. Okay, so it's vibrating, give me like an input, like a motivation for continuing my little projects, for a new program in the orphanage, new program online for students, and so on, for trying to help people, like small community and so on. It's just tiny things, but be the change that you want to see in the world is a part of this. So different tips I can give you. Question everything. Always questioning everything. Never swallow any information without digesting it. Always questioning everything, even this advice. Take time to analyze things and don't use emotion always. Try to have a step backwards. It's very important, with a certain distance and height. Analyze an article with 3 dimensions. Analytically, analysis, facts, information, credibility, and so on. Emotionally, okay, what you feel due to your past, your trauma, your BS, injustice, and so on. Intuitively, okay, how do you feel deep inside your heart? And a good balance in between analytical, emotional, intuitive things, and also the conceptual things, intellectual things, and also the feeling. Okay, as the Little Prince said, and now here is my secret, a very simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see correctly. What is essential is invisible with the eyes. This is important to keep your intuition and how it vibrates within. Okay, check your sources as well, where it's come from. Okay, like, you know, the scientific protocol, okay, with some sources, okay, where it's come from. This is official paper, it is oriented, this is mainstream, and so on. The fact checkings, okay, fact checkings, and different ones, because some of them are oriented, some of them are wrong sometimes as well. Try to vary the sources of information from different political current, from alternative information or mainstream. I told you in a previous video, in alternative there is really bullshit, fake news, and also very interesting investigations. Sometimes in mainstream there are very interesting things, and there is also propaganda, orientation, and so on and so forth. So this is very difficult. This is the choice period of time, and this is difficult to select, to not to be influenced by by other people and other things and with the illusion. So that's important to vary the different sources. Apply empathy with people. This is what we will see in the video 8, for which is non-violent method, for which you try to understand the complexity of people, why they are reacting like this, because of their past, because of their education, because of their culture, and so on and so forth. The empathy, the non-violent communication, is one of the master key of the future, let's say, harmonious, peaceful society, if we want that our society, civilization survives, of course. Try to have also different environment, friends and so on, with different sides, like sensitivity, different sensitivities, like spiritual or not, scientists, artists, and so on and so forth, and not just copy-paste. If everybody were, that's one thing very important. A lot of people think that the world would be better if everybody would think like me, okay? But if everybody would think like me, personally, I would find it very boring. Why? Because we will never have any exchange. Why? Because just the fact that all what I know, you will know it, and so on, and I will never have, I could never learn anything from anybody also. There is no exchange anymore. You know, in the Quran, there is something very interesting for which Cousteau, the Captain Cousteau, discovered. It's the Gulf Stream, okay, in the Atlantic Ocean. There is hot, warm, current, and cold one. Thanks to that, it creates a dynamic, okay? And the differentiation between both create the climates and so on. Otherwise, life wouldn't be possible. So if there was not that, and it was just average and water, average temperature, there will be no dynamic. What does it mean? What does it imply? The fact that if we are all homogeneous, life is not possible anymore. It's boring, and there is no evolution anymore. Keep it in mind, a word to wise. So, the fact to think that if everybody were a copy-paste, the world would be better. This is absolutely impossible. And also, keep in mind that the critical thinking is helpful, and also it is a collective work. So, try to do constant analysis. Personally, I do every night before sleeping. I say, okay, I did that, it was great. Maybe I could improve tomorrow. Maybe I will say this to this guy, or I will apologize, and so on. I try to analyze myself. I try to do a kind of feedback of my own behavior, different things. And I will do also the same with my son when he be able to talk, for him to tell me his story, his life, and so on, and try to improve all the time. You know, I could do kind of conclusion like this, because I started like this, and this is the most important thing and the most important sentence that you can find in different ways in all around the world, all around the period of time, and so on. Know thyself, and you will know the secret of God and the universe. What does it mean? You are the universe within, okay? Universe, Y-O-U, within. You can find back the unity if you know yourself, you know the darkness and all the faces of what you embody. And this is extremely important. It's a work of investigation. It's endless, because we are always evolving daily, and this is fascinating. We never take the same bath in the same river, because in the meantime the person change and the weather also change. This is fundamental. This is essential. This is existential. Existing means to separate, to fragment, okay? But how to find back, to recover, to remember, to reactivate your members through the unity, Y-O-unity, it's like this, by embracing your different faces, accepting them, improving them all the time, daily, and so on, and to reconnecting to the mankind. Okay, I hope it will help you for you to understand and better things, and also for you to shape the master key of the field of consciousness, of love, of whatever you want. As you know, all the roads lead to Rome and to the Dome and to Om. Thank you for your attention, and see you very soon.